Welcome back to Good Morning Euros. Now, there aren't many things that Richard Whitehead hasn't done. He's a summer and winter Paralympian and until recently was a marathon world record holder.
Yeah, his passion for sport, like so many, was sparked by having the right teacher at the right time. He joins us now to talk about some research that has just been done into inspirational teachers and the power that they have. We're going to get into that specifically in a moment, but we've got to start. You've got the big build-up there from Julia, and you've got a remarkable sporting career because you went from sledge hockey at the Winter Olympics, marathon and half marathon world records, but then you also got Paralympic gold medals in the 200 metres.
So I went on into the Paralympic arena for 10 years, unbeaten on the track, 200-metre gold medalist in London and Rio, and then went to Tokyo Paralympics. 4 times world champion. So yeah, obviously I've been dynamic enough to change from the road to the track, and now I'm obviously back on the road. I just broke my marathon world record in London, 2 hours 42 for a marathon, which is not too bad.
No, it's not too bad at all.
With legs, that's good, but without legs, with my disability, obviously has its challenges and obstacles. But obviously, like you say, we're talking about obviously teachers and the effect that they've had on us, and they definitely had that inspiring impact on me growing up.
Yeah, let's get into that research, the impact a teacher can have. We can all relate to that.
Yeah, one in 4 teachers.
Yeah, we all have that story.
Yeah, for sure. One in 4 young people have had an impact by teachers. And then when they look at their life, that they've had that impact that's really gave them that leg up. With me, it was Mrs. Griffiths and Mr. Scott that kind of gave me that inspiration to drive forwards, not just in sport, but also the power of education and how you use that education to be stronger within sport.
There's that great video online, isn't it, of Ian Wright, one of my heroes, and he meets Mr. Pigeon, his old teacher, and it's so cute. He gets so emotional. He's so respectful. Mr. Pigeon takes his hat off, and he gets very emotional. You can see the impact that he had on him, and when he meets up again, it's brilliant. Have you had the chance to meet up with Mrs. Griffiths or Mr. Scott?
I haven't recently, but I had, obviously, before I had my London 2012 gold medal moment, which I'm looking forward to. But I think when you look at those moments, it's you can tell that individual has been inspired for that sport success by that individual. And that's why, obviously, it's a great honour that I've partnered with 1for gift cards to be able to promote that young people give back to their teachers. I think it's really important to show that gratitude because we don't always get that opportunity to do so.
What did you say to them?
It was just thank you, really. It was thank you for that support, thank you for that guidance. When I look back at, obviously, some of the challenges that I've had to overcome as a disabled person, I accredit their kindness, their foresight of equality, diversity, inclusion, which I work heavily in now, but also the belief that they gave me that I can be the best form of myself.
Yeah, you've been a teacher yourself. Talk us through that and why this research really resonates with you.
Yeah, so I worked in the teaching profession for 5 years before I became a full-time athlete, and I still have contact with those young people that I started their journey, whether it's in the professions that they wanted to continue education, and obviously through the power of social media, people contact me all the time. I think the research has definitely showed that teachers have that positive impact that doesn't just last in education, but also lasts a lifetime. So that's why we really need to show that gratitude and support those teachers through this initiative.
And what's interesting as well is that, you know, sometimes your teachers can have a bigger impact on you than your own parents, because your parents aren't necessarily interested in what you're doing all the time. Often they are. Yeah, but often it is your teachers you spend more time with and the ones who get you into the sport.
And can resonate with those passions and really see those passions. And my teachers really saw that sport was going to be an avenue to overcome some of those barriers and obstacles for myself, a person with a disability, but also saw that education would underpin that success as well. And I feel without their support, without their guidance, I wouldn't have been the gold medalist, have those gold medal moments without that support. And we need to give those teachers those gold medal moments themselves. It's really important to support them. And that's why it's a great honour to be obviously involved in this initiative.
Before we talk about Paris, I want to know more about this research. We've mentioned it, we've kind of skated around it. Please tell us more.
Yeah, so 74% of individuals really do have an impact from their teachers. And for me, that research is like showing that it's not just at that primary school age, but it's also secondary school and in the universities as well. If you look at the research that's been put out there, it really gives you a great landscape of the teaching profession. So when we talk about teachers being rewarded for their hard work, we need to respect, we need to reward, and we need to support teachers. Definitely as well, the leaders of tomorrow are young people, so we want more teachers that represent that community.
Before we let you go, we've got to mention Paris, haven't we?
For sure.
Paris Paralympics coming up. How are we looking? I mean, in terms of medals, which athletes should we be looking out for?
So the medal target for the Paralympics is between 100 and 140. One of my friends, Ellie Chalice, a swimmer, she's a great friend of mine, and she's going into Paris with a lot of medal hopes, gold medal hopes. I'll be actually in Paris doing commentary this time.
Great.
And I'll be in the swimming pool and the athletics track. So it'd be great to see friends, colleagues, foes on the track, running their races, getting their world records and painting that picture for the audience. I think it's really important that people like myself transition into those roles to give the audience that authentic feedback on what it's like to be a Paralympic and Olympic athlete.
We're going to say goodbye to you. I just want, as a final word from you, to tell people where they can find out more about this research.
Yeah, so 14.com is a place you can support the initiative to give back to those individuals that have supported us. And you can actually support those individuals by getting one of these gift cards, and 170 brands are supported. And me as a teacher or an ex-teacher, I know that I'd want the pupils to show that gratitude so that I can support my family and friends.